driving yesterday, and my wife says, "Hey, you didn't even say anything about the colors of the trees. You usually say something, right?" And it blessed me because it was an affirmation that she pays attention to her husband, and she knew me. I love fall. I love the orange and the reds and all the different colors. And this part of North Carolina is pretty green. It's pretty green because we got a lot of pine trees. But I got to be in Illinois this week again. And oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Like, there was so much red and orange and yellow. It just blew me away. The other thing that was interesting is, as I traveled through airports, I noticed how the pace of travel changes when you got a connecting flight or not. Right? So I'm going through, first of all, we have hijacked Thanksgiving for Christmas. So I walk into O'Hare Airport and Christmas decorations are already up. And I'm going, the poor turkey doesn't even stand a chance. Like, he gets no love. We just gonna eat him up and send him on his way. But what I also noticed was I had a direct flight. And so as I was traveling to go pick up my car, I noticed that those people who didn't have a direct flight, who had a connecting flight, they were just moving different. And I thought about how I move different when I have a connecting flight. And there are things that I miss because I am just trying to get to that gate, to that terminal. And sometimes that terminal, I got to get on a train and go all the way to the other side of the airport. I mean, it is an ordeal to get. It can take you 20 or more minutes to get from your plane that you got off of to the gate of the next plane. And sometimes all you got is 20 minutes. And so there are things that I miss because I'm moving fast. But when I don't have a connecting flight, my pace is a little different. And I noticed, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that restaurant was right there. Or did you see that? I see the parents with their kids pushing the strollers through the airport. And I go, oh, I remember we didn't ever travel that way, right? Because we couldn't afford to travel on the plane with 4 kids. So we just put them in the minivan and we drove everywhere we went because that was our life. But it tells me and it reminds me that there are different paces in our lives, and everybody seems to be rushing somewhere. Everybody seems to be rushing somewhere. But Paul understood this danger of rushing through life and missing the important things. And he says, be careful how you walk. The version that Will read today it says, walk circumspectly. We don't even use that word, circumspectly. It's like, what does circumspectly really mean? Like, when you think about it, there are a lot of words that have the word circum involved. Circumstances. Circumference. All of those words point us to that it's around. In other words, Paul is saying, pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't get your pace so fast that you miss the opportunity to pay attention. He says, walk, right? Not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of opportunities because the days are evil. We live in a culture that prizes movement more than meaning. I hear it in people's voices when they say to me, I know you're busy, right? That's how they start out. I know you're busy, but. And there's a hint of admiration for the pace of my life because they have mistaken busyness with productivity. Oh my gosh. You see, they think because my schedule is busy, it means that whoever has a busy schedule is having a great impact. You could be busy and have nothing going on.
Yeah.
And see, we check our clocks, we check the deadlines, we call it progress. But Paul reminds us that wisdom begins not with speed, but with intentional attention to what matters most. Okay. Y'all, inattention is expensive. Inattention is expensive. It costs us clarity because we stop seeing what matters. It costs us peace because we get pulled into too many directions. It costs us purpose because we lose track of why we started in the first place. Yeah. And as the holidays approach, that danger grows more and more. There's more to do, more to buy, more to prove, less space for God. Ooh. So then if the Spirit is ordering our steps, then the greatest threat to our calling isn't a lack of opportunity, it's a lack of attention. Okay. This phrase that Paul uses in Ephesians 5 and 15 where he says, be careful. It means being deliberate and attentive. He's not calling us to perfection. That's not what he said. But what he's saying is walk carefully, but walk with awareness and intentionality. Stay centered on what truly matters. See, wisdom is to live aware of what's influencing us. I recorded a podcast yesterday morning because it was the first moment I had to sit down and think through and be able to record. I usually record them on Wednesdays, but I was traveling, so I didn't have time to do it. But this conversation is about circle of influence, and there is a study, there's some research around how we're influenced. Y'all, we think independently sometimes. Right? Yeah. But we feel collectively. Oh, yeah. See, whenever you're in the room with someone, what happens is we begin to synchronize. Our heartbeat synchronizes, our breathing synchronizes. We begin to co-regulate each other. See, so depending on whose space you're in or what space you're in and what the climate is, the relational or emotional climate of that space, it impacts how you show up in life. The voices we allow in, the priorities we accept, the patterns we repeat, they all shape our walk. And when we lose awareness, we begin to drift from the center. Remember, the series we're preaching from is called At the Center. It's about knowing the will of God. When I let everybody else's noise become what informs how I move, I get off track from what God is really calling me to. Which is why Proverbs 16:9 says, a person plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. We plan paths, but God establishes steps. Here's the other piece of wisdom. Wisdom is also living aware enough to notice when God is redirecting us. We have got to slow down and get quiet enough so we can hear God's leading, because he is directing us all the time. All the time. So what does inattention cost us? Okay, we lose awareness of his presence. We waste opportunities. We forfeit our peace. We distort our priorities. And during a season when every advertisement and calendar invite screams for our attention, Paul says, slow down. Pay attention. Because the goal in life isn't to move faster. See, when we're young, right, we want to move faster. But as you get older, for a number of reasons, you just want to move a little slower. First of all, your body says, we ain't moving that fast. Right? But the other thing that has happened is you've gained some wisdom as you've gotten older, and you realize fast doesn't mean effective. Right. So you learn to just slow down. Slow down. Ah, man. And so Paul says, making the most of opportunities because the days are evil. This redeeming the time is the word we're used to hearing. It means to buy back the opportunity. When you redeem something, you buy it back. In other words, we have wasted time. We have spent time in ways that don't align with God's purpose and plans for our life. And Paul is saying, you can buy it back. Oh. But he isn't talking about chronos. Remember, chronos is measured time. It's what time it is right now, right? That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about kairos, which is those God moments. And those God moments are happening all the time. They are spirit-giving opportunities that are pregnant with purpose. Chronos measures how long something lasts, but kairos measures what it's worth. I just want to tell you, time isn't neutral, y'all. It's not neutral. It's sacred. It's a commodity that God has given us and entrusted us to be good steward of. Okay, the value of time never changes, right? It never changes. Stay with me. But its impact depends on how we use it. To redeem time is to recover what's been misused and return it to its holy purpose. We waste a lot of time. We do. We can't help ourselves. It is so easy to doom scroll or to, when you're supposed to get something else done, something else distracts you. And you're coming back and you go, now what was I doing? Can I tell you? Paul warns that the days are evil, right? And here's what he knows. The enemy can't stop time, but he can steal it. Yeah. Oh, so the enemy is working, right? He forms weapons not to destroy your life, but to distract your focus. Let's talk about the weapons that are formed against our attention. Distraction is one of them. He keeps us busy so we don't pay attention to stuff. Or maybe it's fear. He locks our attention on what could go wrong instead of what God is making right. Or it's comparison. He convinces us to chase someone else's calling and someone else's life instead of being a steward of our own. Or maybe it's false urgency. He just convinces us that everything is equally important. We overcommit. We just say yes to everything. Spread us so thin that nothing receives our best. Or it's just noise. He fills every quiet space with noise until we can no longer hear the Spirit's whisper. There are weapons, y'all, formed against your attention. And then we misdiagnose everything as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Everything is ADHD. Do y'all realize when you start seeing an abundance of something, that there's something spiritual going on? This is an attack of the enemy. Because if we can stay focused, we are deadly to him. These weapons, they don't break us, they blur us. We miss things. It's like me rushing through the airport trying to get to the gate. You just miss what's happening around you because you just focused on where you're trying to get to. It blurs your vision. It blurs your purpose. It blurs your priorities until you end up living out of order. So what does it mean then to redeem time? It means to be a steward of kairos. It's to treat time as holy. There are some things that, because of whatever your religious tradition has been, you won't do in this space. Because you say that there's a cross in this space, we call it church, and there are certain things I just won't do in church. But if time, oh my gosh, is holy, then I have to have the same reverence for time that I do for this building we call church. So every moment then has redemptive potential when I surrender it to God. And because I can't make more time, I got to make better use of the time I've been given. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here's the practical steps I want to give you to audit your attention, okay, and redeem your time. One, where does your time really go? Pay attention to where you're spending your time. Is it on screens? Is it stressing about things? You just keep yourself busy. Like when it's moments where you could be quiet, do you fill it with stuff to do? Take an audit of your attention. And reorder your priorities. Decide what's essential and what can wait. Here's the lie we tell ourselves. If I don't do it, nobody will. Oh, it's such a lie. It's such a lie. And you're right. If you don't do it, it won't get done like you do it. And maybe it won't get done. But maybe that's the point. Or protect your focus. Turn down the noise in your life. Choose silence for some moments. I get up in the morning, and after I have prayer and I ride the bike a little bit, I get my workout in, I have moments where it's just quiet. Sometimes I go sit out on the porch, or when I'm traveling, I'll sit in the hotel room with the window open, looking outside, just taking a moment to just be quiet. Maybe you intentionally create pauses in your life where you just build in space. If you look at my calendar at 6:30 a.m., it says devotion. I don't schedule just where I'm going to be traveling and training, or when I got to preach, or when I got, Devotion is in the calendar. I carve out the time. I created a pause that alarm goes off and says 6:30 is time. I build everything around it so that I have that moment. And it's not a lot of time. It's 30 minutes right there in my day. Just get quiet. Where I can pray. I can think. I can breathe. I can notice God. And then invite accountability. Surround yourself with people who can help you stay grounded. You're being too busy right now. This is why I hold Steve accountable. Like he gets the busy. And I say, Steve, go sit down somewhere. Because he knows I love him, and he knows that I mean well for him, so he's going to let me hold him accountable. Bro, go sit down somewhere. That's accountability. He gets to say the same thing to me. If I get too busy, he can say, hey, all right. Sometimes I'm at here at church, and he goes, hey, you going home now? Pack up my stuff. I'm going out the door. Right? Because he's holding me accountable. Hey, you've been pouring all morning. Go home and refresh. And then offer your time back to God. Each morning, I dare you to just say this. Lord, this day belongs to you. Show me how you want me to use it. God, this day belongs to you. Show me how you. I think y'all think I'm crazy when I say, I ask God what I'm supposed to wear today. Like we get to that level of detail. God, what you want me to put on today? And that's why sometimes you see me come in here having that crazy collar. And other days I come in, I have on a tie. Today I've got on the polo. Like me and God have conversations. What you want me to wear today? That's the kind of relationship I have with him. Where I have that kind of conversation because it matters to me. Because I don't know what the day holds for me. I know what's on the calendar, right? I make plans. but God orders my steps.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm like, I don't even feel like putting this on. He was like, just put it on. I'll put it on. And then I show up to something and go, God, I thank you that you told me to put this on. Because I didn't even know I was going to have to go do that or show up there. And before I know it, he's already directed and has orchestrated my whole day. Because I took a moment to just check in with him, to pause. And not get, oh my gosh, I gotta do all this, I gotta do all this, I got so much to do. I promise you. My wife said to me yesterday, babe, what you gotta do? I said, there's some things I want to do, and there are some things I need to do. Right? I had two things I needed to do. Everything else is just what I wanted to do. And I didn't get anxious about all those things. I spent the day with my wife because I hadn't been with her all week. That's what I needed to do. Everything else is just what I wanted to do. Guess what happened? Most of what I wanted to do got done. Because God can take the effort that you put in what you think is a little bit of time and make it so productive, you will accomplish in a few hours what you thought was going to take 2 or 3 days to accomplish. Why you can't believe the lie that the enemy is telling you that you don't have enough time. It's a lie. Everything that God purposed for you to accomplish, he ordained the time for you to do it. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And so when Paul says, walk circumspectly, walk as wise, not as fools. See, fools just go through life. They never pay attention to nothing. They're just trying to get it all done. Wise people slow down and say, what really matters right now? Everything else, God will take care of. Everything else, God will take care of. Time is the only resource we can't earn back, so we must treat it like it's holy. I see y'all looking out there. I saw something over there too. I see it. When we pay attention, time itself then becomes a place of worship. It becomes worship. It becomes worship. I know who that is, y'all. That's an uncle. Oh. That's a person. It's good. All right? And so here we are. When it says then, don't be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Right? It means to put together, to piece together through relationship. It's God's will isn't a puzzle to solve. It's a relationship to walk in. And we understand his will not by rushing ahead, but by walking with him. Right? We sing an old song. We say, walk with me, Lord. Right? I want to flip that. And I want to say, God, help me to walk with you. Don't see, when I say walk with me, I'm implying that I just want God to come along with me. That's not what I want to happen. I want to go where God is going. I want to go where he's leading. I want to be the one when he says, hey, I'm telling you, he'll say, don't drive that way. This week, y'all, I was driving and the traffic, I could see the traffic, and he said, get off at that exit. I got off at that exit and bypassed all the traffic. The GPS in the car was going, reroute, 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 reroute. God had already rerouted me and had taken me the way I needed to go. And I got to where I needed to go 10 minutes earlier. I'm just telling you, I want to walk with God. I don't just want him walking with me. And so, it doesn't mean, though, that God doesn't want us to make plans. Right? We're not sitting around waiting for God to tell us what to do. Make the plans. And then listen for God's voice so he can sanctify them. Okay? I just want to make sure we're clear. God doesn't cancel planning. He sanctifies it. He takes our ideas and he orders them for his glory. He would be a cruel God to give us a mind that creates, that comes up with ideas, that thinks and then says, don't use that. Why would he do that? He's giving you your mind. But he says, let me give you the mind of Christ so that your thinking aligns with my thinking. That the ideas that you have, I'm telling you how to get them where they need to go. And the way that accomplishes the purpose in which I gave you the ideas in the first place. Let God order your way. And this is ongoing. This is not a one-time thing, right? This is a daily practice of paying attention to God's direction. I'm going to say it again this way. You can't control time, but you can control your attention. You can control your attention. And when your attention belongs to God, your direction begins to make sense. When you stop paying attention, your life gets filled with activities and it remains empty. God wants you to have a full life. I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. This abundant life comes from listening to God's voice and allowing him to direct where you are walking. So as we enter the holiday season, let Paul's words become a timely warning and an invitation to you that if you don't pay attention this season, you'll get pulled into hurry and to spending and to comparison and to exhaustion. And you'll celebrate Christmas and miss Christ. No. and so the leadership in the room will know that I'm telling them, like, if we're going to do something, let's do it intentionally. Let's not just do it because that's just what we do. Because the enemy will make us miss Christ if we just start hanging stuff and doing stuff because it's Christmas. No. We have to listen for God's voice. There is a cost to inattention. And we lose what's most valuable while we're chasing what's most visible to us. But when we pay attention, when we slow down enough to listen, to look, and to live intentionally, our time becomes worship. Our schedules become sacred, and our lives begin to reflect the order of God's kingdom. So I'm just asking you today. Pay attention. So I'm going to pay attention. Pay attention to what God is doing in you. Pay attention to what God is showing you about your time. Pay attention to what truly matters. And the Spirit will redeem your time. The Spirit will redeem your focus. The Spirit will redeem your peace. Because you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. Just the things that matter most. And I promise you that if you learn to do the things that matter most, you will find that you won't be exhausted at the end of it. You won't be all spent because you're using all your energy to do the stuff that God never told you to do. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm finished. Father, in the name of Jesus, in this moment, I pray that you would help us to be aware of what is influencing us. God, help us not to live as unwise. Help us not to live foolishly, chasing productivity through busyness. Cause us to chase purpose, to chase you and the things of you. Even as the song we sang before the sermon, God, all of my heart, surrendering and giving to you with open hands. God, we give to you our lives with open hands. All of it, God. All of it, God. Our time is in your hands. So order our steps. Like for real, God. Order our steps, every step. What we're going to cook, what we're going to wear, where we're going to go, how we're going to get there. What